We're back on the Morning Brew. I love this. I got my old friend Nolan here and Rodrigo, and you guys are working on a very cool new project.
Yes.
For Bernalillo County. The county is basically going to completely re-engineer the entire road that goes to Sunport. Am I right?
Yes, we're going to add a new segment that connects where Sunport ends currently at I-25 down to
Yeah, there is
Woodward
that
Road.
weird, like, it just kind of stops there. Like, what was that all about when they started this thing?
Well, when they first designed the road 25 years ago, the main point was to get to the airport. They wanted to get to the airport. And the part to the west was, it had previously been contaminated by different spills that happened in the early 80s.
Oh, really?
And
Is
so,
there like a Superfund site out
yeah,
there?
there was a few Superfund
Really?
sites out there. One that was by GE and one by Chevron.
Oh, wow.
And so at the time they didn't want to mess with that. So they just, it was important to be able to get to the airport. So they stopped looking to the
road right
west.
there.
They stopped looking to the west and built the part to the airport.
So what happened and what changed that we're able to basically extend Sunport all the way west now?
Well, now it's about 25 years later, and the cleanup has, they started cleaning that area up, and so now it's to a point where the ground contamination has been cleaned up. There's still a little bit of groundwater contamination, but now it's mostly gone. So
We're finally able to
it's
actually
finally
do
able
it.
to be constructed on.
Very cool. And Nolan, I know you're the construction manager on this. How much work goes into something like this? I mean, you think, oh, it's just a road, but it's
Right.
way more than that
Well,
in this case,
like
right?
Rodrigo said, it's been 25 years that this has been ongoing. Right now we're in the environmental phase. We're getting comments on our environmental document. Once we move past and get a determination from the Federal Highway Administration, we'd move into design and then construction. And that whole process takes a few years as well.
So this isn't a project that we'll see tomorrow.
No, best case scenario would be summer of 2017 breaking ground.
Okay, clock is ticking.
It is. And so, and this, well, it's ticking quickly. We have a public meeting on Thursday that we're going to be gathering comments from the community and the people from around the city on the project.
Very cool. So this is what the project kind of looks like. We have a map behind us here, and there's we were trying to figure out earlier where was what, right?
Sure.
And so
Okay.
what do we have here? We have I-25, we've got Broadway,
I-25 is back here in the background.
Okay.
And here's where the road ends currently. This is Broadway existing, and then this road is called Woodward. This is kind of where the road would connect to. And then this part over here is Woodward, and it's used. There's a business back here, and this is that facility that cleans up the groundwater.
Oh, okay.
And so we're talking about extending
Oh, there we go.
the road all the way down to Broadway. We're also going to be reconstructing Woodward as an associated project. The county just built a connection. If you were to see further down here, there's the Bosque Trail.
Oh, of course.
And we connected from the Bosque Trail to 2nd Street. And so we're planning on putting sidewalk and bike lanes on Woodward and then bike lanes all the way up I-25. So there's a connection.
Oh, that'd be great.
East of I-25 for multimodal transportation.
And does that mean buses?
Well, we have been in discussion with City Transit. They've made a few modifications to the routes, but at this point, we aren't talking about buses on Sunport, but we have rerouted some of the bus traffic to make it more convenient for the residents in the area.
Very cool. So what are you guys hearing from people on this? Are they saying, wonderful, finally we're getting that road done, or are people saying, no more roads? I mean, what are you getting?
I think it's a combination of both. I think a lot of people see the great economic opportunities for development and responsible development in this area when we do have direct access to I-25. There are some people that are worried about some of the other businesses. This area has been historically industrial. People are concerned about air pollution and water pollution. However, we feel this is a great infill project for, this is really the gateway to the south of the city.
Right.
And when people come in, we want this area to look much more like Journal Center than, the salvage yards or other activities. So we see this as a way to really encourage responsible and good development.
So this is basically one major freeway intersection north of Rio Bravo?
Correct.
Yeah. And that's in this whole area here, I know it is kind of the area where there really were just some junkyards and that kind of stuff. But
And
there
we
is
have
opportunity there.
We have
right?
been working with our building planning and zoning, our planning and development services department to have a design overlay zone for this area so that when people bring businesses in and industry in, they have to meet some elevated standards so the area looks better. There's certain activities that have to be done, say indoors or those types of things. So we're hoping to work with the greater access and also some of the overlay zone to make this area look much better and produce much better.
There are some residents that live here and then further to the west also.
And I bet they're excited about having some kind of freeway access, or is that kind of a bone of contention?
Some of the people that live there are not as excited. They think that it's going to bring more bad industry, but as Nolan was saying, that we think it's not going to go that way. We're not going to spend $20 million to make it an area for bad business.
Right, no doubt.
And you look right here, I think this is perfect. You see a semi here, you see a semi here. Our offices are actually just north of here, and there's many semis that come from the different auto sales places, and there's a switching yard for BNSF for the railroad down here. And so as we move forward, we hope to see a lot more of those semi trucks going up Sunport rather than through the neighborhoods.
Through Broadway, yeah, absolutely. Well, I know that area is part of what economic developers are calling the kind of the intermodal zone. They want to get all of that stuff onto either rail or onto planes. And I know this isn't too far from the new FedEx distribution center, right?
And we've got U.S. Foods right in this area, Admiral Beverage. There's a lot of other businesses that have moved into this area of town that are doing a really great job.
Right. It'd be great to see them have direct access to the airport.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
so where was the spill, by the way? And what caused it?
Well, right here is the Chevron. It's formerly Chevron. It's owned by a new company now. So one of these tanks, I'm not sure which one, leaked at one point in the early 80s. And then GE's plant used to be here.
Was it the old aircraft jet engine plant?
Yeah, they used to do airplane parts, and there was some kind of PCB spill, or I'm not exactly sure what the contaminant was.
Yeah.
But there was some contamination from there.
Great. Well, so this is it's a $20 million project, and a lot of that's not just directly county money, right? There's some federal match or some other things?
It's funded. We've received an appropriation from now Senator Heinrich to get this thing started with the environmental phase. We've gotten state capital outlay money. We've gotten money from the Federal Highway Administration, and we do, of course, have local bond money that's going towards this project.
So it's kind of a collaborative piece between everybody, because everybody sees the
when
need
you have
for it, right?
a $20 million project that's this important to the region, you have a lot of different people that contribute.
Right. So what are you guys going to be talking about on Thursday night at the meeting?
Well, this is an additional meeting that we've had to help. We had previously had a public.
That's where it is.
Yeah. So we previously had a public hearing a few weeks ago, and people wanted more time and more help understanding the document, because it's a pretty big environmental document. I mean, the meat of it is 90 pages, but there's with all the appendices, it goes up to 560 pages. So that's a lot for anybody to read. So we wanted to give people extra understanding, and any questions that they might have. Whatever they want to bring up, we want to help people understand, so that people can make comments that are pertaining to the document.
Excellent. Well, we love this. We'll be back in a couple of seconds. We'll see these guys on Thursday night. We'll talk more, and we'll see how everything goes with this. And I can't wait to try some of the beer from Rio Bravo Brewing, which is not actually on Rio Bravo. But we'll talk about that in a minute. On the Morning Brew with Friends.
Thank you.